Swadika, good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nabunna.
I'm Funkanchi.
And big story of the day because today is the first day of the registrations for the new co-payment schemeคนละครึ่ง Plus, where 20 million slots are available for those eligible for the scheme. And with the overwhelming response, 13 million people have successfully registered in just 2 hours of its opening.
Wow, this is a very significant number for us, actually, Ned.
Yeah.
But what about you? You have the right to do it. Have you done that successfully?
It's unsuccessful for me, unfortunately. Maybe it's because of the technical issues,
Yeah.
but many people have experienced this since early in the morning because to get into the app, it's already a struggle because you have to go through so many steps. And because there are so many people just logging on to the app, it kind of slows
So
down.
we understand the volume, right?
Yes.
You talk about like 20 million people, and right now, of course, 30 million people successfully registering in.
Yep.
But this is one of the economic stimulus that we've seen from Punjai Thai Anutin's government.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure that many people woke up so early in the morning because the registrations for theคนละครึ่ง Plus co-payment scheme have begun since 6 o'clock in the morning. And like we said earlier, there were 20 million slots available for those eligible for the scheme.
Yeah.
And those who have previously registered for similar co-payment schemes in the past would receive the benefits very quickly. But for those who have never registered before, like me, will actually receive a message saying that the system will have to review their eligibility first, and then they will receive an SMS or a notification on the Baotang app whether they will receive the benefits or not. And like we said, some have faced difficulties getting access to the registration process, and some people said that their app even crashed during the process as well.
But actually, some of our colleagues trying to register, and they successfully registered, right, in very fast manner. But so right now, I think it depends how the system works right now. As in, you tried, but it didn't work. But our colleague tried, but that worked for them.
Yes, but most of those who managed to do it successfully have registered for the similar schemes during the Prayut Chan-o-cha administration before. That's why their names are already in the system. So it's easier to take out some of that information and then link it with the new system.
So that's why, of course, into the system, we see your names already in the previous system. So they might connect that with the new system. So right now, I think most of the people register in, and some of them still face difficulties.
I'm one of those
facing
difficulties. But then those who managed to get the benefits so quickly was the ones who have been very active in those co-payment schemes since the Prayut administration, because during that time there were up to 5 phases. But this time, there's only 1 phase as of now. And many people who managed to register, some might get that benefit immediately, but some would get a notification saying that, oh, we might have to review your profile for at least 3 days, and then you will get an SMS. But mine's not the case, unfortunately.
So you have to wait for their message again, and we might see another second phase. But what's the benefits right now actually in the system? We have to recap for our audience a little bit about...
So under this scheme, those who are in the tax system will receive 2,400 baht from the government to match the amount that they spend on goods or services. And that includes taxis, motorcycle taxis, also shops, and with service providers who have joined the scheme already, because last week the registration process was open for these small shops and SMEs. And food delivery services will be rolled out really soon as well. But the daily amount of spending is capped at 200 baht. And that means whoever is eligible will be able to spend up to 400 baht per day, with half of it being funded by the government. But keep in mind, though, that there's a slight difference here. If you're in the tax system, you'll get 2,400 baht. But if you're not in the tax system, you will only get 2,000.
Right. So slight differences there, but we understand that this time, of course, Anutin's government and of course Commerce Ministry, they really want to push and revitalize the economy on the ground. As in, it's quite still we are in a sluggish economy right now. We see the positive momentum there.
Exactly, and even the permanent secretary of the Finance Ministry said that all of the 20 million slots will run out by just one day. Wow. And it's faster than initially expected at 3 days. So you can see that this is such an overwhelming response by Thai. So it shows that people are in need to ease their financial burden, and they think that the co-payment scheme works.
This is one of the drivers for the economy. And people on the ground, as what you said, they really need cash. They need cash flow in the system. They really want government to help now. So we understand that 4 months only for Anutin again, for Commerce Ministry. This is one of the best policy to drive the economy now. People really want it.
Yes, and just one reminder though, for those who have already registered and received the benefits, you will be able to use them from next Wednesday onwards. But then you have to make the first transaction by November 11th, or else your benefits will be lost.
So this is quite a good threshold again for people that, okay, you get the benefits, do not save them because you have to pay it, you have to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. And what you said, Ned, we get a lot of momentum on the ground. People really want to have it for the Kulakung Plus program here, or we call co-payment. So it means that, of course, Anutin Chongwirakun, our Prime Minister and Commerce Ministry, they already see this opportunity on the ground. So we might see another phase, second phase of this co-payment scheme. So Prime Minister Anutin Chongwirakun spoke about the first day of registration for Kulakung Plus program, saying that everything seems to be going well as no issues have been reported so far. But as what we said, we see some technical failure. So I think relevant authority right now, they are trying so hard to fix it too. So he stated that he hopes to see a large number of people register as a good and beneficial program for the public, helping to stimulate the economy. Over the 2-month period, participants can purchase goods worth 200 baht while paying only 100 baht. As what you said, 200 baht, 400 baht too. So it's kind of like Kulakung, a half scheme there to drive the economy. So we might see second phase there, Ned, which could be good for the economy too. Of course, we talk to so many economists. They say that this short-term stimulus is necessary for Thailand. We will see a boost in the economy, no matter it's small burst, tiny burst in the GDP, the consumer confidence on the ground right now, but they still want to see long-term policy, FTA there.
Yeah, the long-term policy is what many economists have highlighted so far, because the government, since they only have 4 months in office, it is inevitable to talk about these short-term policies. So we'll have to wait and see how they will actually do it.
Like, actually, I talked to the former Thailand trade representative that actually FTA is pretty significant. They really want to push for that, but unfortunately, we see delays right now. So the short-term stimulus incentives for the people on the ground is very important. So I think many people, as what you said, 20 million or rather 30 million registration there, very positive sign for people, for the country now. And also you talk about the local shops there, very important for them, smaller businesses on the ground. They also join this program there, but we couldn't be too positive because we still see some downward trend there in the economy. So we need to see more effective terms for long term.
Yes, and especially with the GDP forecast for Thailand, which is still only 1% for this year, and it looks like it's going to stay that way for next year as well, unfortunately. So it depends on how the Thai government will actually try to revive the economy.
As you cover politics right now, Ned, maybe January we see the dissolution of the parliament, and before April another election. we need long-term consistent policy, but we might not see that.
Yes, the House dissolution is expected to take place at the end of January, so the election should be no more than March 29th, I guess. But then whoever becomes the new government, they really have to consider the long-term economic policies and stability.
Pretty difficult task for Thailand, but we still have to go on for next phase, I would say.
Yes, fingers crossed for the second phase of the คนละครึ่ง plus scheme.
Yeah, and we also have to talk about Gen Z this time.
Yes, but this time it's not just about their lifestyle and being on social media all the time, because nowadays people of Gen Zs are more interested in books.
Oh.
So Frank, do you call yourself a bookworm?
No, but actually sometimes I read a little bit about autobiography of journalists, or what about Warzone, but I'm quite surprised about Gen Z interested in books.
Yes, because if you used to think that youngsters do not read books because everything is available on the internet, they can just scroll their phones or their tablets to read anything they want, you might be wrong, because people of Gen Z in Thailand were the largest group of visitors during a recent book fair here in Thailand. And the Book Expo Thailand 2025 has ended, and the event has welcomed over 1.5 million visitors, which is a new high for this expo, and generated more than 474 million baht in sales during the past 11 days of the event. And 70% of the visitors are those of Gen Z, ages between 12 to 28 years old. And this indicates that these people are placing much more importance on reading books, and that reading is becoming part of their lifestyles. And what is far more interesting, Frank, is that novels are the most popular among Gen Zs today, surpassing comics or manga that have always been popular among youngsters. So you can see a shift in this trend, because in the past you might be familiar with kids reading comics or manga, but now novels are becoming much more popular, when in the past novels would be more reserved for adults.
Yeah. But I think during my time, when I was a kid, I was really into Japanese manga and comic books there, because sometimes in elementary school during my time, it was prohibited to read it in the class. So sometimes, of course, off class, we would just go to the comic book shop and read it for until like 8 p.m. and go home. I'm not sure in Thailand, is it the same case during your kids' time?
Well, I study at an international school, so it's quite different. So we get to read like different kinds of books. Like in class, you would have to read novels or literature, but then outside of class, we have the option to read anything we want, including like teen series, for example, like teen novels. So that was my case, but then for Gen Zs nowadays, they're more interested in novels, and there's a wide variety of it, because the most popular genres include horror or investigative novels, and that's followed by fantasy novels, romance novels, and also boy love and girl love novels. And this is becoming a huge trend nowadays, because we've been talking about gender diversity and the LGBTQ community, and these BL and GL novels are becoming so popular, especially among the Gen Zs.
Sorry, I think it's one of the stereotypes for Gen Z, because sometimes, of course, most of them, when they grow up, they stick to phones. They stick to TikToks. So this kind of like short time spending activities might fit them, but this time they read books. They read comics books, because it takes a lot of time. Sometimes it takes like 1 to 2 hours to read that, to finish that. But right now the trend is coming back.
Yes, and because nowadays we are becoming overwhelmed with being on the screens all the time. So reading books is just like you're having time away from the screen. So you focus more, and when you start reading, you just get so into it.
And sometimes we understand that actually this period for Gen Z, they also fill in nostalgia things like archaic things or ethic. Sometimes they really want to wear that 80s shirt, you know,
Right.
the rock period.
Like going back to like those days, like
Yeah.
Y2K.
Yes.
Yeah, Y2K is a thing.
Yeah, and somehow the trend is coming back too for clothes. So of course, somehow I am surprised about that. But now it's okay. I understand that, okay, nostalgia sometimes really work in this period too.
Exactly. And as to why book fairs in Thailand are seeing increasing success, the president of the Publishers and Booksellers Association of Thailand explained that many publishers have come up with new strategies to target new readers, such as improving in terms of the content, introducing new books on social media, book reviews that went viral on social media also play a huge part, as well as the production of limited edition books, which are worth collecting for readers because some publishers have published certain editions of books and they have designed new covers, so it feels like you want to keep that as part of your collection. So that is just one aspect of the trend. And Thailand's book market this year is estimated at 20 billion baht, and it is predicted that the market will see 5 to 10% growth next year. So it's changing. The trend is changing, and in Thailand, a few years ago, there has been this stereotype or this sweeping generalization that Thai people read only 8 sentences a year, which is very stereotypical. But then this has shown that there are more and more people into books, especially during like their free time. It's not just in school.
Right. So as what you said, I think it's kind of like economy S-curve. So sometimes we come back to the highest point as I will call it the time to spend quality time. In my case, I am not saying anyone, in my case, to read, to have a long time spending on activities that we can focus on. That one of that is book.
Exactly. And reading books is actually helping you focus a lot more. Whatever you like to read, that is fine. It's your choice. As long as you enjoy reading it, that's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it could be a Japanese manga, a comic book, or anything like how-to books or anything related to self-development or even novels. Whatever makes you happy, just read it.
Yeah. And sometimes actually spending long time into one activity like book, like sport sometimes could really help you in a way.
And it actually expands your knowledge as well.
Right.
All right, and that's all for this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. You can also follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ